Hi there, I'm Allie Elliott. Hi, I'm Allie Elliott. Welcome to the stream today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there and to everybody that has a mother, everybody who doesn't. Just a happy day. Happy day. I am in a food coma from pistachio cupcakes, and they were worth it. So this is going to be a short stream today. I'm just going to start on, I had a senior boy session on Friday, and it was really overcast, but it was the cutest farm and all of these baby animals, and I'm going to do a composite of him and a bunch of their animals, babies and the big ones and everything too. Like, it was precious. So that's what I was combing through as I was waiting for the countdown. I think it might just be playing this same song, so I'm just gonna skip that and then try to find, I'm just gonna start by pulling stuff that we might use. And this will adjust as we go on, like composites do. Because different configurations of animals might work better. 8404. So I'm just going to start pulling it. And this is not a composite that'll probably finish today. I don't know why this is acting like my mouse is acting weird. There we go. That'll help. This week is going to be chaotic. So I'm making my lists and I'm trying to prepare. Oh my gosh. How cute are these animals? Okay, I'm gonna pull 10 and 12 because I don't know if I want them together or if I want them separate. And in farm sessions before, I have been known to accidentally have the same animal in there multiple times because I can't really tell them apart. But some people say that about newborn humans. So I hope everybody is having a beautiful Sunday, a beautiful Mother's Day. I wonder, I might even grab one of this angle. I think I have them later too, so actually... They're posing. Okay, and these were the babies, and like we had to improvise a little, but I thought this would be a nice exercise to take the fence out. So I wanted to grab one of these too. 8436. In fact, that might be what I work on today. And I'm sure that there are actions to take care of this, that kind of thing. I'm not concerned about those. And one of these little dudes, I think, might have been this guy, had the little snub horns, was like fighting my ankle. He wanted me out of there. I might grab this one too, actually. 446. So I didn't shoot enough. I wish I had shot more of him standing up in the like field part, because this is all gonna be different. Aren't they cute? They are the cutest. Oh my gosh. They're like the size of my cat. So my topic today was your favorite Bob. And this conversation may incite a riot. People feel very strongly about their Bobs. My favorite is Bob Dylan, 100%, because 84, 76. No, wait. 84.79, because I like the definition in the goat eye. I gotta remember this number. We named one of my daughters, I didn't name her alone. Marnie Dillon, this daughter, her middle name is Dillon after Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan music has been the soundtrack of my life, of my formative years, through all different, eras of my life. And I was going to have a stream to get me to 1,000 followers to celebrate getting there, and to get me there. And I woke up today with 1,003, and now I'm at 1,010. So I was pretty pumped on that. All right, these ducks were not part of the plan, but look how they are just like, they're ready for their close-up. Oh my gosh, the goat is posing. That's the blue steel. Okay. The ducks, I hope that I got them in there. This might be... $85.05. I'm kind of starting a composite that I decided I would do halfway through the session, so it's not real well thought out or planned or anything, but that's okay. I'm winging it. It's a duck pun. Okay, yeah, and I figured I could do that. I thought that goat was posing, and then I was just in her way, mainly. There they are. 7. Okay, 85.27. So I'm just gonna start piecing this together. No, maybe it's 27. 20. Did I say 27? Did I say 57? So right now I'm just pulling all the images that I think might want, at least all of the animals that might want to be involved. All the animals that were cooperative and agreeable. There really weren't any that weren't awesome and like posing. Most of them were like, you need this angle, you need this, like they were like feeling it. I love this windmill. They're like, to find an aesthetically pleasing windmill that's like all like a muted single tone, like beautiful. And my son, one of my sons came with me to hold my light, and this is his teammate, his soccer teammate. So holding the serious pose was not happening with my son on the other side of that light. Some good genuine laughter though, so I'll take that. How cute is this? I don't know which ones are babies or not. Obviously the little bitties are. I mean, it looks like a prop. I'm into it. All right. 85.74. I just got really sleepy. So Bob Dylan is my favorite Bob. Not including family. I'll just put that out there right now because my husband's middle name is Robert. My son's middle name is Robert. My grandfather's name was Robert, which I didn't have a relationship with him, but I'm just saying. Just so we're clear, these are famous Bobs only. Bob Barker, Bob Ross, Bob Vila, all quality Bobs. Bob Dylan is number one. Bob Marley, he's up there. 8574. I didn't open that yet. I got distracted. Oh my gosh. 8577. Okay. I like this music. Nobody's on tonight. Everybody is hanging out with their mother. That's a little depressing. My mom is gone and one of my daughters has passed. And I got spoiled by my other 5 babies and my husband. And my dad came to church with us today. So it was a good day. And then we went to eat with, so it's kind of funny. I grew up going to this small country church 25 or 30 minutes away from the town that I lived in, which was also a small town. But this town didn't even exist anymore. Only the church was left. And there were like 3 families there, like 3 core families, and then relations of all those families. And for over 40 years, my parents spent New Year's Eve with 2 of the other families. And when I say my parents, it was us too when we were little. And then as all of us kids grew up and did our own thing, they kept doing it, just the parents. And it was the cutest thing ever. And I'm putting the videos from them off of VHS and putting them onto the hard drive for my dad so he can keep watching them. And they go to the church that we go to now, which is like 2 hours away from my hometown. So it's kind of funny that we ended up back there together, but it's a really nice feeling. It makes me feel like a little kid. Oh my gosh, I like that one better even. How cute are these animals? I'm afraid I'm gonna put some of them in there twice. So I'm done with volume sports photography for the spring. Everything went really well. It was a smooth spring. It was, I bit off a little more than I could chew with the 2 club situation, but I think it went well. And I got to coach. So for one club, I coach my same 2 teams. I've had the same kids for like 4 years, and it's awesome. And then for this other club, I just go where they need some trainers, where they need instruction or technical training or whatever. And so I participated in 8 different teams in a variety of levels. And then I had one team that was just my team that I trained them and coached them and stuff in games. But I got to coach the U6 boys, so it was 4 and 5 year olds. And they were so much fun. They were just like, their celebrations after a goal were way better. Okay, you gotta look at this guy. I mean, how precious. I wonder if I have a better... I'm gonna get 85 and 87. Oh, goodness. I like this music, but it's also making me a little sleepy. Oh my gosh, look at these babies. I like the soccer ball back there. Here, I fixed that lighting. Oh my gosh, they're all looking. 595. All right. I'm just like staring off into space while this opened. Look at the texture. Just as an artist, to look at something with such beautiful texture, I am here for it. Look at those eyelashes. Yes, she is posing. I'm pretty sure this was a girl because I think that was one of their babies. They just look plush. They look like they're made of plush. I like that one too. See, I've already got too many open because I have poor impulse control. Do like farm calendar. Ugh. This is like the sheep senior portrait. I completely abandoned the kid that I was photographing because of the sheep. I mean, I feel like that was the right thing to do. Look at that baby's eyelashes and the texture and the light. It had kind of lightly rained all day. See, I just wanted, this is just of the texture. It looks fake. It looks like you just went and bought a fabric. Just put a newborn right on there. All right, now these guys are different, I'm pretty sure, because I think these are the boys. Even the fence back there gives a cool texture. I like the harsh grid back there juxtaposed to like the texture of their plush fur and the grass, that is obviously organic visually. I'm gonna pop this one out there too. 8622. Oh man. What I need to probably do, and you know what's the downside of this session is, like, we had a great session. Everything went beautifully. It was overcast the whole time I was there. And I pulled out of their driveway and I was like half a mile down the road and the sun just burst out with a beautiful sunset. And of course I was driving, so I couldn't, I took like a cell phone picture of it because I was like, it's too bad. All right, so those are cute too. I can't remember if I have one of those. No, wait, that's those same ones. See, I wouldn't be a good witness. This one was peeking. They're smiling. They're smiling. Okay. Have I gotten this guy in there? I don't remember. Regardless, I'm gonna do this one. 8653. And then there are dogs and chickens. Oh, there, that was a good one. 68. I might have a better one of her because I think she came back and posed later. I couldn't get him. He was moving so fast and I didn't have any room to back up. So trying to get him in. Maybe 79. He was coming at me. There we go. 79.85. She's posing. And then I'm gonna do a soccer image for him too, and we're just gonna do that Monday because they've got a game. Oh, she's posing. She stayed. Like, even after he walked away, she stayed. I wanted to get the sky, like some of the definition in the clouds, and it just was not. This is going to be a really cool composite. I'm going to back out of this one because that's going to be a composite all its own. But I'm going to open up. Okay, so there's... So we need probably that one. Wait, let's do this. Let's duplicate our layer first. No, wait. Okay, now what I want to do is, I want this to mostly be grass. That's gonna be work. These guys have a lot of grass, so that'll be good. Hang on. Okay. My dad got home safely. This week, like, is, where did... I might make this like a panoramic type image. Because I don't know if I want the pond in there or not. I'll have it there in some aspect because of right here, the stars of the show. Do I want? Maybe. What do I want? I'm not sure. Oh, goodness. All right, so I'm just doing the sketch basically. Because I think a panoramic here would be pretty cool. With just like animals, like Noah's Ark is loading up. Now, I do think, before I do too much on this major composite, I want to get maybe one of the windmill ones. that one. Maybe that one. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm gonna open both of those. We've got too many open right now, really. And then we'll go back to checking here. That one's like a nice genuine smile. Back to the sheep. There might have been one up in the front. This lighting was, I was initially trying to use just an ice light. I like that expression. 89. I keep going back to the animals. All right, so I'm gonna take my indoor basics because there's almost no color in there. And see if that's gonna work for these. Kinda. That'll do for now. I'm gonna go back actually. Maybe levels are gonna be a little bit better. And just kind of define, especially with a guy, there won't be a whole lot here, just kind of defining what the flash washes out. And this is just kind of accentuating the expression, that kind of thing. And again, since it's a guy, I'm gonna leave the nice skin texture, all that good stuff that a girl might be more wanting to mess with. And I'm going to go back to that same action that I built. I like him being just off okay. So, bear with me here. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go big on these. So I'm just looking. At these. And then I'm going to go smaller. And those don't have a lot of color in them. Mostly they are. What I'm trying to decide if I want to take this sliver of gravel out. Does it draw the eye away from what we're supposed to be drawn to? Just kind of accentuating the highlights and making sure that it's visible. That's a good genuine smile. And that'll be real simple. Okay, back to the composite. We get all these little buddies in there. I was so distracted. I was like a kid. So I'm just gonna kind of copy and paste all of them that, whoops. Pulled so many. And this is, I'm pretty sure I have some of these, but just in case. And if I give them their images and I have some duplicate animals, then I can fix that. I save layers. Like, no, those are different because those were in a different pen. Otherwise, I might think those are the same. I should have saved my Bob topic for when there were other people here. It's just me. It's not as fun a conversation. All right, so I might use some of these for depth. Actually going to, I was sitting here like not talking at all, but I think I'm going to just put that whole thing back there because I think for the depth this would be really nice. I like the dimensions there. And I'll clean up the water tower, I'll clean up the fence, like whatever, but there we go. Do I have these? Because they are adorable. Oh, do you think those are the same? That looks like it. I'm a little bit uncertain. Got the ducks already. Which goat, baby goat picture do we like better? I think I like this one better. Hey, Impoverish! Thank you so much! So good to see you. How was your Mother's Day? I've had a good day. I had pistachio cupcakes. I'm still thinking about them. For all the mamas out there. So I'm just going to grab this one because this will be a lot of work. My mom cooked, so it's a reverse Mother's Day. Aww. I bet she was happy too. I don't cook ever, so yeah. Oh yeah, I imagine. How's your energy? Feeling good? I need to get the little dark baby goats. Do I have her yet? Can't remember. I don't think I do. Because they weren't in that one. For some reason, they got crowded out. You broke down last night emotionally with chemo stuff. That's a lot. Sometimes you just gotta let it all just out. Weirdest thing, mentally nothing wrong, my body wanted to cry. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a release on, I mean, I'm not a doctor, believe it or not. Oh, you didn't eat. I get very weepy when I don't eat. I might get weepy easily. I don't know if that's, if I do more than the average bear. But I feel like that, like your body is crying is like flushing stuff, you know? 8 more. Yeah. If you're not feeling like it, it's hard. I try really hard all the time to eat like intuitively and eat. If I'm craving something, I, you know, try to get it because I feel like that's your body needing something and not like, you know, cake. But like a real specific craving. It's usually French fries for me. And then I feel like that my body probably needs salt. Did I put that guy in there? These guys? Actually, you know what? I think I do, but I'm going to go ahead and grab them because, again, I like the depth. So that's it. It's perfect. That's the composite. Do you have a calorie count that you're trying to get to? Got up, could barely stand, slumped over the wall, trying. Oh gosh. Yeah, that definitely sounds like chemo stuff. Well, and maybe not. Maybe it's just like an emotional toll, like emotional release, and your body's focusing on other stuff, so you just have to let it out. Did you feel better after? Oh gosh. I'm sorry. Lack of overall calories, yeah. Well, my mom lost her appetite when she was doing chemo, and like she felt like it was that she was like taking so many medicines orally that like she's was full, and I'm sure there were other things at play there, but learning how powerful a food, mind, body is, yes, I'm a believer, 100%. It's a big connection. Okay, I'm gonna start naming these 2 sheeps. 1 sheep. That's a sheep, right? I think that's a sheep. Baby goats. After like 5 minutes, able to calm down. I feel like that's good for you. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not anything normal about chemo or everything that you're going through. Whoops. I'm just gonna leave that because this is the same one. 2 small sheep, fluffy. I cannot remember their names, but I know they actually all had cool names. Which one do we like? I think I like that one where they're looking. No, it totally makes sense. Like your body was just flushing tears out. And I think that makes complete sense. And you're probably exhausted too. Like, here's one thing. After I had my first baby that people don't talk about that much and it's normal, but like you just cry. There's no reason, you just cry sometimes. And then I told my doctor about it, and she's like, yeah, that's normal. That'll go away. But just like, it's like a cleansing thing, probably. Okay, those are definitely the same ones, but I want them up a little closer than they are in that one, so I'm going to leave both of those. Set of 3 fluffs and same set of fluffs. 4 cups of milk, a cheeseburger, 20 Ew, milk and a cheeseburger don't sound good. Like 1,000 calories or so. If it was like homemade, if it was like a homemade burger, that's probably right. Okay, I'll be here. All right, this is gonna be called Sheep Huddle. Oh, Huggle. I'm gonna leave it. This is Sheep Huggle. Okay, and I know these are rams. They were just outside their ram cave. Okay, this is the fluffy baby. It had the cutest face. I think she said those were baby dolls. Like that's their breed or whatever. And these are the ducks. And this is Two Sheep. So it sounds like a rap name. Two Sheep. Okay, so I really would like to use. I wonder if. Let's try it. See if it can pick up. So I opened my window. Wait. I keep changing my mind on how I want to go about this. All right, let's go back again to him. Okay. I'm gonna try and size them all right. This could be a little bit of a job. And then I think what I'll do is I go through here and adjust these. I'm gonna take the edges down. I mean, I keep thinking I need to come back and do need some animals. I need to do a goat picture like my, I don't know if you can see it back here, the dancer composite that I did here on stream that did well at competition, but I think we need one of goats dancing. There, that's a nice texture actually, 8714. Let's see here. Actually, There's one, whoops, dandelion right there. My girls call them a wish. So there's one wish. All right, so I'm gonna switch to okay. I forgot that I was streaming for a second. So I might leave. I'm gonna do the fence. I've got some more pieces of it back here. I'm gonna have these guys up here. I'm gonna duplicate this one because I'm gonna erase it back quite a bit. Let's see what Photoshop magic we can do. Oh, what was I saying about milk and cheese? This doesn't sound like a good combo to me. I don't like milk. Well, I don't drink anything but water. So I'm a bad person to ask. I drink water and black coffee. And that's it. And I will have like a few kombuchas a week maybe. But I'm really specific now. I'm a kombucha snob. Okay, so I want to erase back on this because I want no fence, but I want to keep their beautiful texture. I am gonna have to just go for it there and just down as far as the fence goes. And then maybe oh, there's nothing there. I've lost 17 pounds. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. Shoo. That's tough stuff. Yeah. Yeah, the fluid I think is pretty common too. That's a miserable feeling. Just being swollen. So this grass we're definitely gonna have to get rid of, but where is that sheep? I'm gonna duplicate this layer and hide the back one and nope, not like that. warm it up a little. So, and then we're going to select the subject. And delete it. Oh, no. I forgot that was... Now let's delete it. Oh. Looks kind of cut and paste right now, but I haven't done any coloring on anything but her right now because I'm just working on kind of placing them. Oh, I gotta catch up. In the hospital for wounds, given a diuretic, yeah. Whew. Goodness. Oh my gosh, I bet that's miserable. That's a lot. That's a lot of water. All right, so I'm just gonna take care of the edges here so it'll blend better, so it's all that good stuff. Okay, that's those guys. Sheep huggle. I'm actually going to put this one right here because I think I have more with this baby behind there. That was years ago. I mean, I think that's still a good indicator that you know, that makes sense. All right, now I haven't started. Obviously, I haven't started. It starts to bug me now when I start to be able to see the layout. But I know that this grass is all kinds of messed up. I think I will still lower it a little bit. All right, first I'm gonna copy my sheep huggle and I am so sleepy. All right, now I have gotten which one do we like better? Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep this one because of the depth and the fence and stuff. And I want to be careful that I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I know what I was gonna say. I want to be careful that I'm not running the horizon through his head. And then I'm gonna take just this section and then chemo starts the same day as moving day. Wait, oh my gosh, I gotta back up. This week, general contractor starts work on my new house. Congratulations! I don't think I knew that. Did I know that? So much gear. There's no way. Yeah. We have a lot of things now that we're just like more comfortable moving in our car when the time comes. Artwork, equipment. That's pretty much it, but there's a lot of it. I don't really have that much equipment, and my equipment is old enough now that if something were to happen, it's not that big of a deal. It's time to replace it anyway, and that's a little bit tempting. That makes it nice to have. That's better as a backup probably, but what kind of computer do you have that's 50 to 100 pounds? Is it like Don Draper's computer from Mad Men? Does it have its own room? It's full tower. I've got this very quiet thing, and I love it because it does the job quietly, but it was expensive. And I just tell my husband what I want it to be able to do, and then he finds it for me. Because I hate computer shopping. I hate cell phone shopping. I hate cell phone shopping most. Just bring me one. I don't care. I don't need to know anything about it. Phone calls, that's it. Cell phone shopping most, then computer shopping, and then car shopping. Like, I don't know what I said. That's okay, I was following along. I didn't even notice an autocorrect. Custom build. Oh my gosh. It is almost 6 o'clock. So, one thing that I would like, Maple, how's it going? Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Jinx. How's everybody's Mother's Day? Did you all have brunch and spoil your mothers? Well, obviously, like, my mother has passed. And so the other kids that I have, steak dinner, son of the year. Oh, we have a riot. We have a riot on our hands. Bite, bite, bite. It's coming. Tractor stream. What is happening? What's going on, and what do I need to know about? I'm missing something. I'll be back like an hour days ago. I can relate to that. I do the same thing. Like, if I ever have a time where I'm like, I'll 100% be back on stream on this day, on this time, then you can basically guarantee that I will not actually be on stream at that time. You know, I watched one of those, different than the usual pattern. But I think it was last year, and I was like blown away. I was like, oh, you're for real. That's a real deal. Look, that's why I lured him in with my sheep. You know what, though? Let me tell you about this. spending this Friday afternoon on this farm, I'm bad at it. I don't know anything. And I grew up rural, but I didn't have to do anything. I was very spoiled. And that's on me because I didn't learn. But if it comes down to an apocalypse situation where we've got to like live like pioneers, I'm out. I'm done. These people will have to save me. And, thank you. I'm just, like, I'm so ignorant about, I know that it's hard work. My nephew said that he would save me, but I don't want to go be a drain on somebody else's apocalypse farm. I'll drain the farms. I think I want this baby's picture though. Whoops. I wanted to keep this because of the fence row and the dimension, but these guys. So I have completely edited out the senior boy that these are supposed to be of because of the sheep. So that's not really my fault. That's the sheep's fault for being so cute. It is so nice out today. I'm gonna have to catch a farm stream. I couldn't even tell if they were running. I don't think they're running. So he's gonna be like Noah's Ark, except no ark. Just some of the rain. What's under there? I'm gonna use what's already in there because it matches better than that other image. I want goats, but just to like put them in pajamas and like cuddle them. They're so cute. I would probably not be great at taking care of them. But I mean, I can take care of kids, like human kids. How different could it be? Do you have animals on your farm? Like it's, my brother-in-law is a farmer. My sister lives there. She doesn't do anything, I don't think. She doesn't seem like she would do anything. Aww. German Shepherd's probably a good farm dog. We had a shepherd mix when I was a little girl. We have a puggle right now. That would not be a good farm dog. And actually, our Australian Shepherd would not have been a good farm dog. She was very lazy. We would take her on walks and she would just like lay down and she wouldn't get up unless we turned around to go towards home. That was her cue. Okay, that's for... Do you have any duplicates here? I don't think I do yet. Tin can hooked. Aww. Oh yeah, she's still a baby then. Our puggle is just, he's a crusty old man now. That seems like that's the same animal, right? Yeah, I think it probably is. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, so I need to work on the baby goats because I need to take them, I need to get rid of the fence and take them out of their surroundings. So let's see how much Photoshop can do for me. Can't really see that one, so I won't worry about it too much. The little white one's gonna be in there in a different capacity. They are so cute. And not even a pajama in sight. Okay, so I'm just gonna work on these kind of individually, independent of one another. And I'm gonna see maybe how much this can do. I really want a golden retriever. They're just the nicest, friendliest pups. And I know they're kind of high maintenance as babies. Whoops. So I need to know everybody's favorite Bob. I talked about this a lot when nobody else was here. My favorite Bob, and this is only famous Bobs. That's my caveat. No, because my husband's middle name is Robert. Son's middle name is Robert. And actually, most of his friends call him Robert. They went through a phase within their team where they were just calling each other by their middle names. So, and that one stuck. Bob Ross, I knew he'd come up. Very popular answer on the art channels. I was trying to think of all the famous Bobs. Mine is Bob Dylan, named my daughter Marnie Dylan. But I love Bob Marley. I love Bob Barker. I spent every sick day. Bob Denver, I don't know who that is. I spent every sick day with Bob Barker and The Price is Right as a kid. That's one thing as homeschoolers, my kids won't know the beauty of a sick day until they work. And then they'll learn, they'll be like, wow, this is something different. The light's just different when you're home from school during the day. Oh, Gilligan's Island. I never saw that. I watched a lot of those shows on Nick at Night, but that wasn't one of them for some reason. My dad did. Floating goat scenario. Bob Vila, Bob Ross, Bob. I sent myself an email in the middle of the night thinking about all the Bobs. Low base. Name your favorite Bob. That's the secret password. Uh-oh, I just erased that goat's hole. Bob Dole. Nobody's favorite Bob is Bob Dole. I was a big fan of the Saturday Night Live Bob Dole. Well, I appreciate. What about Bob? Yes, movies count. Of course, everything counts. Everything that gives me something to talk about counts. So my podcast interview is Tuesday. Got to try to represent Twitch well. I'm excited. That'll be fun. So my top two are Bob Dylan is obvious number one, and Bob Marley. And who's the most famous Bob? Your backlog is 8 months long. What, for photographs? Oh, I lost an ear there. We'll have to fix that. Let's see. Nope, the ear just didn't come along. We can fix it. No big deal. My kids and I had a bet a while ago on who the most famous Steve was. And like, that seems like it's a really common name. And then when it comes down to thinking of a Steve, there's like Steve from Blue's Clues. September. Oh my gosh, that would stress me out. Steve Jobs. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. He's probably the winning Steve. Maybe that was a long time ago because, or maybe my kids were too young. And that's why Steve from Blue's Clues was the one who came up. Yeah, he's definitely. I kept thinking of Steve from 90210. Steve Irwin, yes. I'm drawing a blank though. And I'm probably insulting Steve somebody because I can't think of his name. I wonder if there's a name that makes you more likely to become famous. You know, like the Wayne middle name serial killer thing. We named our dog's middle name as Wayne, just in case he was a serial killer. He's not, though, I don't think. So many Steves. Steve Harvey! Oh, he's a good one. Bob Hope, Bob Newhart. Yes, that generation was full of Bobs. My grandfather is actually named Bob. Steve Martin, Steve Carell, Stephen Hawking. Do you think anybody called Stephen Hawking Steve? That's like, my son has a soccer coach named Victor, and for whatever reason, like, we just started referring to him as Vic. Like, we don't know him like that. What is wrong? We just gave him a nickname. See, that's where he draws the line. I feel like Steve Hawking is the different. That was when he went to the grocery store. That was a different guy. Oh yeah. There are so many Steves. Fine, I take back what I said. There are a lot of Steves. You know what there aren't a lot of? Allies. There actually is somebody named Allie Elliott that was on Survivor, though. I think. Either that or she just spells her first name like me. Now I have to look it up. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. So her name's Allie Elliott, but she spells it wrong. She spells it with an I. Uh-oh. I lost you guys. Where'd you go? There you are. Allie McBeal. I had a professor in college call me McBeal, except he had an accent, so it was McBill. I love a nickname. Whoops. Getting a little excitable. Steve, John, Bob. Like, do you think anybody called Robert Kennedy Bob? I bet they did. They seem like a nickname kind of family. John and I'm like obsessing over this baby goat's ear. Look at their smile. These goats smile. Have you ever seen anything in the world cuter than these baby goats? No. The answer is no. Need to put a little catch light in there though. They were not super cooperative with the light. They mainly wanted to eat it. You saw an alligator with buck teeth? Yes. Sure. That sounds amazing. And that doesn't sound super intimidating. Like that dog. The meme dog. All right. It's a little lighter there. There we go. It got real quiet all of a sudden. You're all just sitting there trying to think of more Steves. All I could think of was Steve from 90210. Is there a more important Steve, though? Not to my formative years. I actually don't remember. I faithfully watched that show, and I don't remember. Like, I couldn't tell you an episode even, probably. Except for Steve stealing the legacy key. And sometimes, like, when I'm helping my kids do their schoolwork and I can't remember certain things, I feel like my brain is filled with 90210 trivia and 1990s rap lyrics. That's why I can't remember stuff. We're all just waiting for the alligator with buck teeth. I am so sleepy. Playing a game right now. Fair enough. I'm probably gonna wrap this up because it's just perfect. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm gonna go watch some soccer games. If you want to watch a good one, watch Man City any game, or watch Arsenal lose to Brighton. And I first looked at the score because I'm rooting for Man City to win Premier League. And when I first looked at the score, I saw it was 3-0. I didn't even look at who it was. I just assumed it was Arsenal. So that was a fun little Mother's Day surprise. I know. I completely abandoned the senior. He's in here somewhere. Where is he? Here, I have to. He'd understand. I mean, you can't. Who can compete with baby goats? He's just floating on top of the senior right now. Yeah, I'm doing a composite. This one will be probably a little more time intensive. I need to do on that of the boy. His parents probably want, a picture of their kid. Maybe not. I didn't even go through all these because I was so distracted by how cute the animals. Goat surfing. The ghost of seniors, the goats of seniors past. Goat yoga. Oh yeah, I forgot about the chickens and the dogs. We have so many animals to add. Oh, you know what? Okay, wait, there it is. Okay, this is gonna be another composite, but this is gonna be so cool. And it's hard to tell right now what it's gonna look like, but it's gonna be cool because it was this barn. I'm very excited about the farm stuff, but it's this barn that was like, there was light coming through the slats and there were these like jar lights glowing and it was so cool. And he was just sitting on bales of hay. That actually would have been a less complicated composite to work on. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow. Aww. That's cute. Okay, maybe we'll do this one. Except for that, like, booty shot back there. Come on, sheep. This was at the very end, and, like, needs more snakes. What would that do to the... No, it's horses, isn't it, that are scared of snakes? Horses and the photographer. Oh, I like that. She's posing perfectly here, but he was looking away. There we go. 87.34. Or do I want 35? $34. 87.34. Look, she's like, yeah, I did. I know. I like a challenge. Jenny's number. Let's see. Now here's the thing. It was cloudy and overcast. I was worried that we would even not get to have the session. And now where is... And then I was like a half a mile down the road. And, ooh, wait, this is it. That's a good one. see. I'm gonna make that smaller, and then half. Did I just say half a road? If I was like half a mile down the road, and the sun came out to the most beautiful sunset, and it was not in an area that I could stop. I almost drove back, and he would have been fine because he's ultra polite, but most senior boys would be like, pretty sure I said it was done. So I didn't, but I could go back. Let's see, what did I, here we go. Wait, where did that come from? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take out the water tower. And then I want to try to find one. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Before I forget and leave his hair green. Okay. I can't type. This is why I'm an artist, man. So anyway, I need one of the other kind of direction. Oh, look. That's kind of what I'll need though, so I'll take it. It's a little blown out, but it'll do. 8537. I'm way past it. That one is total chaos. Okay, let's see if I can find the other direction. The light changed so much, but I never had enough of it to get any like heavily dimensional light. I had a strobe and I had an ice light. And I wasn't gonna get my strobe out because we were under threat of rain pretty much the whole time. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there we go. 586. Do that one. And then I'm gonna go watch soccer and take a nappy. Pie. What numbers did I say? 86. There it is. Here it is. To change this up a little because those are all the same animals. Whoops. Whoops. think that's him too. So I'm going to be applying for my ASP fellowship tonight. So tonight's just the application, and then I've got 2 weeks to put my paper together. And then duplicate. I have a tendency to overcomplicate things that aren't necessary to overcomplicate. Whoops. I don't like that. Which Thomas Heaton preset? Oh, I was like, I don't have any presets or know who that is. Should I? Oh, I have one. It's right here. It's very dusty. I use it for painterly. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay, my neighbor says hi, I guess. I also have a coaster here, actually. I use it for... What do I use it for? I use it for dodging and burning, for smudging, and I use it for some erasing. I really wish that... Oh, look, those are definitely the same animal. In fact, that's the same picture. Well, how about that? The reason I use the mouse for this is for whatever reason my tablet acts really weird if I'm cloning. And it just does not ever cooperate, and it's frustrated me enough that I bail on it. Okay. Can you hear the clicking? Is it driving you nuts? All right. It seems like a lot. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Now. Okay, now I at least have one that I can show them before their epic Noah's Ark. There's no ark, just Noah's. And I'm gonna go chill for the rest of my mama's day with my babies, eat some more pistachio cupcakes, and watch some soccer. Thank you guys for stopping in on a holiday, on a Sunday. Thank you so much. It's been a chill, beautiful day. I don't want to jinx myself by saying I'll be back a lot this week, but I am going to be back a lot this week. I've got this session. I've got some other stuff coming up. I need to get, now that soccer is wrapping up for the spring, I have 2 exhibitions that they just have to be finished. And then, so I've got 2 exhibitions. I've got 2 sessions this week. I've got this one. And then, there's something else. Oh, my interview on Tuesday. I've got a long list here of stuff I've got to do, and I'm overwhelmed right now. So come in here and be chill and hang out with me this week. And let's see. I'm going to check real quick because we've got 5 whole people on here, and I'm going to check and see if anybody is on there that would appreciate a raid. No, just soccer. So never mind. Unless you have somebody. Yes. Oh, yeah. For my, I know. It's not looking good for free time for the time being. Once I get these exhibitions out, if once I even just get the first set of, so I'll explain it. This is more for my own peace of mind. It's going to be the same image 4 different ways. So it's going to be photograph, oil painting. Okay, photographic print, oil painting, watercolor, and then intaglio print. And then it'll also be the same image 4 ways. And then I'm going to slice them up and piece them back together. So we'll have 4 different pieces of artwork with 4 different mediums. And it's just going to be kind of a cool play on perspective and looking at the same thing from all these different backgrounds. So I could get real artsy and talk about it, but I won't. I mean, I probably will, but not right now. Oh, okay. All right. Well, everybody, all 5 of you, come back again tomorrow, and it'll be in the afternoon because I'll get to soccer in the evening. So it'll probably be around 2 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to work on this composite some more, and we'll have a good time. And there's Zuzu. So everybody go chill with their mamas, or in memory of your mama, or whatever the scenario is. You have my love, and it's going to be a beautiful evening. So I look forward to the next time I'm back. I'll be on Instagram and YouTube between now and then. So have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye.
That's why you my mommy.